Afternoon guys, Dave Canterbury with the Pathfinder School. What I thought I'd do today was, I've had a lot of questions about this Jeff White bush knife, asking me to do reviews on the knife and things like that. And up until now, I haven't done a review on this knife. We've had this knife in stock for quite a while. I've been carrying it for quite a while. And I've kind of been letting it sell on its own merit, from the reviews on the website as well as reviews and testimonials from people on the web. But I thought I would go ahead today and shoot a review. The weather's been kind of foul. It's been raining for the last 12 to 14 hours, on and off, pretty heavy. We got more rain coming in today. I thought maybe I'd go ahead and use this to process a fire today. It's a really good design knife, and it's quickly becoming my go-to blade. So I thought I'd introduce that to you today. We'll talk about the specs real quick, and then we'll do some work with this knife as well. Get us a wet weather fire started out here today at the Pathfinder School. Stay with me, guys. You've got a 3/16 inch thick, heavy duty blade that you can use for any task that you would need it to be used for. A lot of people talk about the one tool option, and the one tool option really just means that in an emergency, is that knife going to do everything I need it to do if I don't have an axe or a saw? And I think that this knife would qualify as a good one tool option. You've got a blade length that's 5 inches or better. You're 3/16 inch thick. It's high carbon steel. It has a sharp 90-degree edge on it for striking a ferrocerium rod. And it has no coating on it, so that you can drive sparks off the back of your blade in an emergency for a backup fire starting device. Okay, so let's first talk about the specs on this knife. This is 1095 high carbon steel. It's about 10.5 inches overall length. It's got 6 inches of cutting surface. It's got a nice area here to choke up on the blade for fine carving. It's got a hammered finish on it and a bit of a convex grind. Curly maple handles. We have two models of this knife. One is in the hammered finish, one is in bead blast. The hammered finish comes with the curly maple. The bead blast finish comes with a cherry handle on it. It comes with a really nice Robert Jones sheath that has the Pathfinder logo on it. Just a standard bushcraft style hand sewn leather sheath. Fits the knife really well. I believe the one on our website comes with a ferro rod loop. My personal one does not have a ferro rod loop on it. If I have to use this knife to baton through some type of wet or marginal material, doesn't bother me in the least to do that. I may have to get to the drier insides of the wood, especially in a wet weather environment. And this is oak. This is not some softwood. I see a lot of guys batoning and carving woods that are soft woods. That doesn't tell me anything about a knife, because if your knife can't carve or butcher softwood, you really got a problem. But if you can split oak and hickory and things like that, especially when it's wet with that knife, with no problem, then you got something. And in a wet weather environment, being able to break into wood to get to the dry center can be a critical task that your knife may have to perform. And you want to be sure that your blade is capable of that. Just by carving off the outsides of this, I have a nice dry hardwood center here. Now I can process this down further to make my kindling for my fire. And this stuff will catch flame readily. Not as readily as a softwood would catch flame, but sometimes you got to use what you got. And if this is what I got, then this is what I'm going to use. Again, guys, this is not poplar and this is not pine. This is oak. It's a very hard, dense wood, and it's damp on top of that, at least on the outside. And we are going to use the inner part of this tree, the heartwood, which has a lot of fibers in it. We're going to process those fibers down with the back of our knife like this to go along with the shavings that we made. And this is where our combustibility is going to come from with our ferrocerium rod, is in these fine shavings. Everything is in the processing of the material. We can't rely on feather sticks with oak. It's not a soft enough wood for that. It's a hardwood. And you're going to have to give it something finer with more surface area to catch those initial sparks. And your knife is going to have to be capable of doing this stuff for you, because you may not be able to find that softwood. You may not be able to find that tulip poplar or that pine or that aspen or that basswood or cottonwood or any of that really, really soft wood that you really like. So you're going to have to be able to get those fine cuts and fine shears. And all I'm doing now is I'm producing a flat area again so that I can begin to scrape it and fuzz it up. Because that fuzzing up of the material is the preparation that I need for combustion. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick review of the Jeff White bush knife. It was a little bit of a review, but it was also a lesson. And I like to do reviews incorporated with lessons. If you really want to practice your fire skills, get yourself some wet wood, hardwood, oak, hickory, something like that. Take a log that's 4 inches by 6 inches and start a fire with that and nothing else. Then you're doing something. Soft woods are simple. If it's so soft you can carve it with a butter knife, it's not a challenge to you. Challenge yourself as much as you possibly can. That's the key to owning the skills of making fire. I see a lot of people waste their time doing things that are not realistic. Think about what you're liable to have. Think about what you're liable to get stuck with, which is probably your ferro rod and your knife. Try the hardest materials that you can find to make fire with and attempt to make fire with those materials. And practice that until you get good enough at it that you can do it on a pretty sure bet. When you get to those levels, then you truly own the skills of making fire. It's great to make primitive fire. It's a fancy skill that's great to understand, but it's the last thing I'd want to have to rely on in a real self-reliance or survival scenario. I'd rather have the ferro rod. I'm not going to lose the thing. It's going to be in my pocket. I'm going to have it. Learn to make fire with that ferro rod with any tinder source that may be available to you, including the inner dry wood from a hardwood tree. I'm Dave Canterbury at the Pathfinder School. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope you enjoyed this small lesson on making a sustainable fire with hardwood only, and a quick review of the Jeff White bush knife. I think it's a really good quality knife for less than $100, especially for something that's US made. It's very much what I would consider common man. I apologize about the smoke that's blowing directly into the camera at the moment. I got wood seeping water out the inside of it over here. I'll try to get a shot of that. That's where the smoke's coming from, is the wet wood. I'm going to get a shot of that real quick, and before I do, I'll sign off. I thank you for joining me for this video. I thank you for your support, your views, your comments. I thank you for everything you do for our school, for our store, for our business, our family, our friends, affiliates, sponsors, and instructors. And I'll be back with another video as soon as I can. Thanks, guys.